What's up, everybody? Rothstein here, Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, Fame Rothstein, a.k.a. Malcolm Excellence. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2027. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments. Share the program. I've got a couple of things I need to talk to you about on this video. They're both NBA related. I'll start with this one because since it was out earlier. Jalen Rose said the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. He thought he was fly. While on the Joe and Jada podcast, fat rappers Fat Joe and Jadakiss, two New York rappers, Jalen Rose, I guess he thought he was saying some fly shit. You know, some fake esoteric, fake smart shit. Because he said that the NFL and the NBA, because they are dominantly black sports, that's the reason they have a salary cap. Because it's a residue of slavery. He also said that that's why they have no after high school restrictions. That's why you got to go to college after, And it was just like, Jalen, shut the fuck up. Listen, full disclosure. For guys in my age group, Jalen Rose is always going to be a part of sports lore for you because he was a part of the Fab Five in Michigan. That famous recruiting class in Michigan in the early 90s. They made it to two Final Fours and three Elite Eights. They made it to two Final Fours before Chris Webber went to the NBA. Left and went to the NBA, and then the next year they went to like the Final Eight or whatever. So it's kind of hard for me to see my brother go out here and saying this dumbass shit. I was in high school when when they was wrecking the Fab Five. It's like, first of all, you're saying like you don't see that in hockey and the NHL. He brought up golf and tennis. It's like, first of all, golf and tennis are individual sports. Those are individual sports. You go out there and win what you want to win. You know what I'm saying? Win as much as you can. But I mean, like I said, the fake intellect shit. Talking about some because the NFL and NBA are predominantly black sports. First of all, the NHL hockey, they have a pretty tough salary cap. Matter of fact, I'll do it to you. I'll do it like this. The NHL's Nathan McKinnon plays for the Colorado Avalanche. One of the best players. Arguably, well, he's not the best, but he's a top 5 player in hockey. Top 5, maybe even top 3. He might be number 2 behind Connor McDavid. Nathan McKinnon makes $15 million a year in the NHL. You go to any NBA roster, and I guarantee you there's more than one player making over $15 million a year. Easily. And I guarantee you there's more than one player that you don't know of. Unless you watch the NBA daily. Like, these dudes is like I told you. Remember what I said about, what's his name? Jalen Brown? It was like, I know he's a good player, but he ain't $60 million worth of player. I just don't see that in him. So what he's talking about, and then, well, hell, go down to your boy in the NHL. Arguably the best, Connor McDavid. He makes 12 and some change a year. Want to go down the list a little further? What about the established vets? You know, LeBron making $40, $50 million a year, but the guy who came right in with him, two of them, Sidney Crosby of Pittsburgh and Alex Ovechkin of Washington, they make like 7 and 8 respectively. So I don't know what he's talking about this salary cap. No salary cap in the NHL. There is a salary cap in the NHL, and if you cross it, it's your ass. Like, you know, the NBA got ways you can finesse it. There's no way of finessing the NHL salary cap. And it's like Joe and Jada just, they're sitting there looking like they're mesmerized. I guess they don't know sports. That's why I don't like when people talk about, that's why the athletes talk about your sport. You know, you said that shit, and now it's like, you can't take it back. You can't clear it up because it was just so ridiculous. You know, and the NFL has a college requirement, because if you're a high school player, you cannot, if you just turned 18, 19 years old, you cannot take on NFL players. You're not going to be strong enough. Really, you're not going to be fast enough. You got to go to college to get a little faster anyway, but you're just not going to be strong enough. These are grown men. You know, if you're a good high school player, you know, a big, strong lineman, you're lucky if you're pressing over 300, 350. These NFL linemen bench press 500. They will hurt your ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, like even Deion said that, like, you can't come out of high school playing. He's like, they said maybe Adrian Peterson could have. It's like he ain't been hit by an NFL linebacker yet. No, he can't. And it's like, oh yeah, even Deion saying that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Jalen Rose, man, shut the fuck up. For real. Like, that's all the way to even say that, man. Just shut the F up. Like, I'm not sure why you felt the need to say that and thought it was fly. I don't know who your counsel is, who your researchers are, but somebody should have stopped you and said, no, Jalen, don't go there. Don't go there. Because it's a bad take. I don't know. But the other thing I want to talk about, Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, however you say his name, is married to the best girl player in the WNBA. I forget her name. I can't think of her name. I know her face when I see her. I'm just not a fan of the WNBA like that. I don't like basketball like that. I have to go watch. You know, it's basically middle school basketball. All the backdoor picks, and all that kind of shit. I'm just not, no. But he scored 83 points tonight against the Washington Wizards. And it's the most meaningless 83 points in history of sports. Because he's going to go down as the second best player, or second most points as of right now, the second most points in a game in the NBA. Wilt with 100, Kobe with 81, Bam got 83. You tell me, when the history of the NBA is written, who's going to give a shit about Bam Adebayo? It's like, I ain't trying to knock his accomplishment. It was nice, good, but it's like, man, it's a big nothing burger, for real, because, and the way he did it, from my understanding, he had like 50 free throws. I saw him at one point, he was like 7 of 22 at threes. And it was like, what 6'9" forward center post player shoots that many threes? Like, even Wemby and Jokic, who are decent, who are better than average three-point shooters, especially considering that they're 7 feet tall and more, it's like they would never shoot that many threes. And it's like somebody from Washington's got to stop the dude. Somebody's got to have a heart. And you got to remember, Kobe didn't play the fourth quarter. Not into the Kobe, I'm not going to be one of those Kobe guys and, and all that. I'm just saying, Kobe didn't play the fourth quarter. He wanted to challenge Wilt for the hundo. Phil Jackson didn't let him. Bam them up by 20, they're still letting him play. It's like, okay, like David Robinson, he had 70-something. He's like, and David Thompson had like 71. David Robinson had like 77, I believe. To win the scoring title over Shaq one time. David Robinson is a historical player. David Thompson, a historical player. Kobe, a historical player. Wilt Chamberlain, historical player. Bam Adebayo, just another one of these hoop niggas that played. Like, seriously, he's better than average, but trust me, at best, he's third best center ever. At his best. Between, after Zoe and Shaq. Young Zoe. Even when Zoe came back, though, with the kidneys and shit, he would have gave Adebayo work. He'd have made him go out there and shoot 23s because he wouldn't have been able to do nothing on the inside. Shaq, too. You know what I'm saying? But, I just don't I was like, somebody's got to stop that. Somebody on Washington's supposed to, like, crack his ass real good, let him know you ain't about to go off like that, bruh. Like, well, you ain't nice like that anyway. But it's a career night for him, so you don't really want to shit on him, but let's keep it in perspective. This is not a historical player. Nobody cares that he scored that except for a couple 12-year-olds in Miami whose favorite player has probably been Bam growing up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like it. I'm sorry. The NBA is just one of those leagues. It just kind of really chaps my ass. You saw what he was talking about the Magic City night. Jason Whitlock calling it Magic Titty. But, yeah, that kind of stuff. It's just too much. Like, the NBA is like really, and I'm gonna do another video on. I should do another video on. Well, I already did. I already talked about it in the video. But a lot of you Atlanta people are mad. Killer Mike. People are mad because the damn NBA canceled that. Like, maybe to Atlanta that don't seem like a big deal, but trust me, that's a big deal linking up with strippers like that for promotion and not running it by the league. Shout out to Adam Silver for stopping that. But, yeah, so Jalen Rose, I need you to pipe down. And Bam Adebayo, congrats, but trust me, when your career 20 years after your last game, nobody's going to care. Because it's you against them. But I digress. What do y'all think? Jalen Rose, does he need to quit talking about other sports? Should those other hosts been more knowledgeable? Joe and Jada, should they been more knowledgeable and stopped him? Or, push back on him? Bam Adebayo, what do you think of those 83 points he scored in the game tonight? I seriously, I was just like, really? Somebody ran up on me and was like, while I was at the gym, like, you see Bam Adebayo scored 80, all them points? I was like, nobody's going to care. Because it's Bam Adebayo. He's just not that good. He's not historical. Well, what say you? Because all those questions and more will be answered on the next episode of Soap. I'll holla.